It's 9:47 a.m., August 9th, 2022. This is an old series that I created years ago when I just started talking about metaphysical stuff. I got to turn the fan on, excuse me. And that's why it's on Metaphysically Speaking, but I also put it on my other channel, Arae. Arae is more aggressive, whereas Metaphysically Speaking is for people who are starting to wake up, and I don't want to scare them away from becoming who they are, awakening and understanding themselves better, and also understanding what's going on around them. And the fact that nothing's ever been their fault and they've never been sinners. There's no such thing. If there was a sinner, it was the original first being, male and female halves. Cheers, salud, kampai, and the rest of them. I start my day with some chowa tea mixed in with a double espresso. It used to be a triple, but I had to cut back. So I had that this morning, and now I'm having another double. But I call it coffee talk because I just sit here and talk about things that are metaphysical, and things that are physical and how they relate. And that's why I wanted on Metaphysically Speaking, as well as my other channel, Arae. The fighting and all the other stuff, the more aggressive information, that's for Arae. I used to be fighting stuff on the other side all the time, killing it. People get a hold of me, they say, Jay, I'm being attacked, and I look and I see it, and they could see what was bugging them, and I just say, okay, hold on, just kill it. And they're like, what? And there's no yay Jay to that. That's what I was made to do. When your car is happiest? When it's cruising down the road. So, coffee talk used to be longer than what it's going to be now. But a lot of people would watch, most people just look at it and say, wow, this is a long conversation about nothing earth-shattering, so I'm going to go to something where it's earth-shattering. All your media make up all this crap to tell you, and there's so much crap on YouTube, it's pathetic. People talking smack about stuff they don't know, people making up smack. Sad. But, and people, there's so many people that feel lost, that they're reaching out somehow for attention. They don't appreciate their own self-worth. And that I find, to me, that's sadness. It's sad for me to see that happening and feeling and seeing them being like that relative to themselves. Like I've always said, I don't matter. I'm like Stone Mountain. I'm just there. I'm huge. I'm there. Hopefully I'm giving you shade. Break the wind for you. Take the edge off of a hurricane if you get close enough to I would call it a boulder, but what's it, like 1,400 foot tall? But anyway, the coffee talk is usually just relaxing conversations about things that are happening metaphysically, as well as things that I'm aware of. Excuse me while I move stuff around here. I'm setting up for a podcast, some podcast equipment up here. I'm making a studio downstairs too now that Deanna and our little girl, feline Maruka, she's they're on the way back home. They're in Florida right now, in Miami, and then from there she'll go back to. They'll both go back to Spain. my difficulty in leaving this body has caused this is my northern accent, it's caused more issues than you realize. And when I say that, I mean for everyone. It's a major issue with me because I have a job to do, and that's taking care of everything. And these physical bodies are going. They're leaving. They're never coming back again. They shouldn't be. They're abusive. You have to sleep. You get disease. You feel pain. You have to keep striving to make money. You have to buy cars, drive them around, and then they break down, and then you need lawyers, and you need doctors, and you need all this other stuff, accountants, yada, 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 yada. These solid lives were made to be abusive, and they are so much more than you know, just by their very own existence. But then when stuff, negative and abusive beings would go inside through the top of the crown, the upper crown, through the middle crown, through the lower crown, right into the hypothalamus, they literally tell you you're a bird, and you know you're a bird, you're looking for birdseed. That's just how the body works. Nobody can help it. There's a lot of stuff on the other side that's just been destroyed. The original first being, I don't know what you call them, super servants. When they did things that are really good, they'd be like super angels, and when they did things really bad, then they're the ones that a lot of religious groups would call the upper echelon demons. They're the stronger and more negative. They were the stronger and more negative servants of the original first being. Halves, the male and female halves. The original first being separated itself into two slightly different parts to have company, and then after that it was gone. It was now the two halves, the original first being, male and female, and that's how male and female were created, because it wanted company. Over the years, a lot of people have found how simple things are when you can just see it, learn it, feel it. I'll tell you so many things that are just going to make sense. Why? Because they're true. It is as simple as me. I used to say as simple as a tired old man in overalls, but I don't wear overalls anymore. They got so big and heavy doing the laundry. What a joke. So I go for the t-shirts and the scrub pants. I used to work in surgery. That was a lot of fun as a military scrub nurse. It's not the same category as a civilian scrub nurse. They go through a lot more schooling. I've had my hands inside people. I've been in the brains of I don't know how many people. Those of you that I've had consultations with, I'll be talking with you and you'll feel it. You feel me in your head. Well, the field, it goes everywhere. It's part of me. I released it for myself June 2013. So now that Deanna and Muruga are on their way home, back to, going to Spain, I finally understand. I came to the understanding yesterday what's going to happen. That I'm being prompted to hurry up, and I just spent so much money buying equipment and stuff that I need. Also things I need to live alone. I can't take something and drag it through the house and then use it in another place because I can't. I can't hardly walk at all. My knees are shot and everything else. And then new camera, 4K, everything's going up to 4K. But I'm going to keep doing what I do until finally I shut down, and I was warned that that time is coming. So not to be spending money and get the podcast stuff together and keep going, because the day was coming where I'm just going to shut down. And I might wind up, hopefully not in a hospital. I'd rather just go here. But as soon as I come out, I'll tell Deanna what's going on. She owns a house with me. And she has a brother, a really cool guy, Nacho. Love him. I call him the Purple J Dragon. I've put his songs up there. Him and his songs. He composes his own music. He plays it. He's a real good guy. Dan, his family's awesome. Just like so many of y'all, you don't even know. That's the saddest thing about all this. Other than the fact that this creation still exists, the next saddest thing is that you can't appreciate yourself. So, not really, because you don't understand who you are, and that's hopefully when I do these coffee talks, it's going to help. I just put coffee talk in the date. So far as the title. On the other side, it's still chaos, and there's no conformity, no basis of control, so everything flows a certain way. That'll happen less than a second, as I'm on the way out of this body, that'll be happening. So when people pass and go home, they leave the body and go home to their natural selves, become their natural selves in their natural state, then they just look around, and the first thing is, about 92% of all the energy that was over there is gone. And it's kind of freaky. Why? Have I killed all that stuff? Well, yes and no. It's not that I've killed 92% or 94% right now, actually, of the beings over there. It's that I've destroyed the largest ones, who were the problematic ones, and they took up the vast majority of what was over there. 86%, 84%. Okay, 84 point something percent of all the energy on the other side used to be the big ones, the real huge source beings, and they're gone. So, except for two of them that are awesome, Lilith and my brother Aramelius, not Aramelius. Yesterday I finished destroying the rest of Aramelius that was out of body. There's people that have it in them. And there's over 8 trillion planets that have over 1 billion people on it. So there's still some parts of him in body. I don't know how many. 300 million. Wow, that's more than I thought. Anyway, it's less than that now. Anyway, whatever, between 250 and 300 million of them. And how many people die? How many physical bodies die on this planet alone? And this is a small planet, but we're crowded as hell. So if you take that and multiply it by 8 trillion plus, yeah, that's it's a lot of people coming out of body. But when changing the subject here a little bit, when those people you love go home, or your friends and everything, the ones you care about, as well as the others, when they go home, they all of a sudden realize that there's nothing there, and they get nervous. I know that a lot of them come to me. A lot of them ask me, a lot of people ask me, so-and-so just passed, what happened? Are they okay? And I go back to when they got there, and I look at them and how they react. And how they react is how they react. I don't have any wonderful bedtime story to tell you. I don't have any make-believe crap to just make up and, say, oh, this is what happened and everything's fluffy-puffy. I'll tell you what is. I don't have attachment to it other than it's what's going on, and I need to take that information, categorize it, and put it into my understanding of what's going on in creation, what it needs, and the present condition of it. I'm part of creation just like you, and I'm no better than nothing else. None of us are. We're all equal. Every single living thing is equal to every other living thing. Living being. Living thing. But I'm different. I was made for a different purpose. I'm huge, and, nothing has my strength or abilities, but so what? That takes away from other things that I like to do, that I used to like to do, and I can't anymore because of my size. An elephant walks through the grass, and he tramples on it. He can't feel. He walks on it, being careful, but still walks on it. And they put the foot down in it, and it just collapses the grass. Well, a smaller animal, a mouse, can actually move through the grass and feel the texture and beauty of each blade of grass. I'm like a big dump truck earth mover, and y'all are like Ferraris. I can't enjoy things the same way you do. But that's cool. If I could just get out of this body, I'll be real happy just being me and doing what I'm about to do. That's why I'm hoping that I can help you all understand more about yourselves, so you can enjoy who you really are and do what you really want to do as much as you can while you're stuck in a body. For the moment, that's the depressing thing about it. We're all limited, including me, by all means. That's depressing. Coffee time. Excuse me. So on the other side, things are calmer. And now that all this free-roaming Aramalius, teeny little pieces of Aramalius, and all the original first being half super servants, whatever you want to call them, they're stronger servants who are like angels. Are only the regular angels. They're actually servants, lower-end servants, and there was trillions of them. They were 1% lower frequencies and less. And these other ones I'm talking about, they average 27%. 27 and a half all the way down to 20 something, depending on which one. It's just as they were released, that's what they were. And they were a lot stronger when first released. Lower frequency beings, the ones that are more negative, are stronger. Their power signature is stronger. But the lighter stuff, as you have more lives, more and more lives, you build it up a new type of power that the lower end people can't match. I oftentimes have used those higher frequencies to just blast through stuff, and it like burns them like they're plastic that you put in a skittle in a fire, and it melts and get bubbles, and it just turns into like an ash, almost like an ash. I turn it into an ash and just disperse it. But it's quiet over there now, and people are resting, relaxing. More spirit is starting to show itself. With all the fighting that's been going on, they've been staying, out of the way. It's like if you think of an old city, or even a new city, where there's crazy idiots running around the street. Boy, we can relate to that, right? All these idiots rioting over nothing, and these disgusting, abusive things. George Soros is just one of them. I can't remember the other guy I'm looking at as Jim Buffett. Warren Buffett. Jimmy Buffett's cool. Warren Buffett is the guy's name. Just taking millions and hundreds of millions of dollars and pouring it into these riots, giving these idiots drugs and everything else. As soon as I'm gone, these people are going to drop dead. And they might do more than just drop dead, but depending on what they did. But that's what the other side was like. And then I was running around killing everything as soon as it'd come get near me. And then sometimes when I was getting hit by too much stuff, because there's people dying all over the third dimension, then they get in groups, and then boom, they'd hit me. So I kill them, and then every once I relax, I go around creation, and I slowly I put an orb around it, and I slowly bring that thing closer and closer until I'd get the ones that I was setting the beings that had the frequencies that I was setting myself up to get. So anyway, it's like clearing the streets, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. And then now, almost all the troublemakers are gone. So people are starting to come back out in the street, walk around, and, it's getting calm. And in a little while, it'll be real nice. And I'll be out here before too long. Someone very close to me, one of the source spirit animals that Lily and Lily's still sleeping. I can't access her, and she won't come out because she can until I get out of this body. If I would have died, disappear, then there's a failsafe and she'll come out. But when I say that, if I would die as Aramelius, not this JS6 body I'm imprisoned in. But that wouldn't happen. There's nothing strong enough to do that. I know it sounds a lot like I'm trying to break my arm, pat myself in the back, but it's not like that. All we're doing is talking square pegs and square holes, triangular pegs and triangular holes. I am like Stone Mountain. I'm nothing special. I'm nothing great. I'm just there. I'm your oldest brother. What I care about is you, all of you. That's what matters to me. I am what I am. I exist, and I am the alpha. So what? All I want to do is take care of everyone, give you the best life and the best protection and care that anyone can. And Lily's like that, but Lily and I are both made of real powerful love and fortitude frequencies. And I have real powerful love. Those of you I talk to, you know. But you know what? Lily, she puts me to shame. I mean, her power, when she's released, her presence slows everything down and makes everyone feel good. She's strong. That's what's coming. And when I'm myself again, and then I release her and wake her up and, give her coffee. She flows in and out of me, the field, and we work together. This has never happened before, but it's about to now. And she and I have had more lives than anyone else. She's had over 8.9 trillion lives, and I've had over 10.846 trillion lives. That's what's coming. Creation is about to become about all of you, the compassionate ones. The people that are negative, they already have their own dimension. Excuse me, I just jerked the hell out of myself. I was saying it because I somehow knew it, but I had to focus on it, and then I jerked myself, not consciously, but as spirit, I jerked myself to say, yes, keep going, don't stop, which I just did, but to explain it. But I've already created it, and it's where they can live and not be bothered. The other side of there's no hell except for being in a body. That's the only hell there is, okay? And it's not hell, but it's so abusive, it might as well be hell. If there was a hell, it would be it. There's on the other side, in the second dimension, that's right above us, about 3 foot up off the floor, a little bit to the right. Anyway, that's the ground level over there. When psychics used to say, I see your angels and they're floating 3 feet above you. Now their energy field's just sitting right there above the ground. But anyway, those beings that are more negative, lower frequencies, a higher percentage of lower frequencies, they stay in the second dimension around the location of Miranda, the first moon off of Uranus. Okay? And then those of higher frequencies, they stay right here around the Earth. And then Lucifer, what the person you call everyone has called Lucifer, is the original first protector. It was the first one created by the original first being, and they knew they were going to release a third of their energy. The first being halves, male and female. They knew they were going to release a third of their energy and start creating new beings. And they knew they're going to pull negativity out to make everything weaker, to be easier to control them. But when they did that, they gave us a blessing of allowing us to be of lighter frequencies than they were. Because they were 27.5% lower frequencies, and that's not good. That's not bad, but it's not good. It's easier for bad to come of that. 17% lower, which is what most everything is, they have to become arrogant before they're an issue. And the original first being male and female made sure they could make as many of them arrogant as possible, even source. Anyway, so when they pulled all that negativity out, 97 point something percent of the negativity, I believe that's the percentage. I can't remember now. My conscious mind is going, and when I go to see, I just hit a wall because it's not that important for me to see. Something about 93, something about 97. Anyway, whatever. That well over 90% of all the lower frequencies were taken out and set aside. It was a field, an orb of negative original source energy. So they had made Lucifer, so he would be like a warden. His energy would go around it, and he'd control it. He was the first protector, Anyway, his lower frequencies, they ranged about maybe 20% or less. And when you protect something, you naturally start to understand equality, honor, compassion, and a relativity to the whole of everything. And that's who he is. He's my buddy, is like everyone else. The archangels, they're all gone except for Archangel Michael. And he and I are very, very, very close. He's out running around right now doing stuff farther away from here, helping people on other planets. Anyway, I need to go ahead and bring this to an end because it's getting long, but I'll try to get on to do a coffee talk from time to time for those of you, whoever you are, that just want to understand a little more about what's going on the other side and everything else. Things are not what you think they are. And enjoy the happiness you have, because if you're honest with yourself, your day is just filled with stuff that's not happy, okay? And that was done on purpose to you, and all that's going to be changed very soon. This life that you're having, all of you, it's the last one you'll ever have in a physical body. Sorry, I'm slurring a little bit. I am sick. I am, in a way fading. But my energy work, as a matter of fact, let me say this before leaving. My energy's mutated, I don't know, like 6 times now. Something else just happened. When I'm cranking people up, the energy is starting to have, the energy that's usually soft and flowing is getting thicker. It's almost like a gel. It's my energy getting stronger. I want to get out of here before it gets any more so. My energy outside of body right now grows, and it's growing a little too much, so I can fix that when I get out of here, but I'm already so big I don't need to be any bigger. Anyway, folks, I love you, really do. All I want is the best for you. Simple stuff, as simple as an old fart in overalls. And now I'm not the old man in overalls, I'm the old man in the t-shirt and the scrub pants. I'm going to start bringing y'all more people and a greater understanding more people that are metaphysical practitioners that are awakening, going through different stages of it, and more information. I'm going to do everything I can until I get out of here, and then I'm going to force feed everyone with information. It's not force feeding, but the field is going to become more active in your brain, and I'm just going to let you see stuff, not control you. I'm not going down through the upper crown, middle crown, lower crown into your hypothalamus and run you like a puppet. That bullshit's over. And your God says you have free will? He gave you free will? Yeah. Petunias. Anyway, you're going to become more and more aware. And those people who don't want to, they're not into that, you have another place that's waiting for you on the other side that's very mellow. And then those that are more aggressive and need to be kept away, they have their place. So there's 3 different sections for people to live in. And they can go from one to the other, but that's going to be controlled. Folks, love you. Take care. And be really careful about what you listen to on the internet, because it's 99%, 98.5% garbage. Trust your gut. Learn how to use your abilities. When Deanna finally opens up the store again, like I said, this is early August, but it's going to be at least 2 months before she opens up again. But when she does, we have everything you need to help yourself wake up. You don't have to come to us to get what we have to wake up, but there's nothing any better than what we have to help you wake up. Those Jared's Runes of Awakening cards, you can buy the book on Amazon, and you can get an index card, and then you just draw the symbol on the index cards, and you can flip through them and use them. It's not the same as our rune cards, because they're not as nice and everything, but as far as function, yeah, they work just as good. The thing is, with those cards in our cards, the Jared's Runes of Awakening, and the imagery that it has, it'll make more of a connection to you. There's more of a flow between you and the cards, because when you're going into the cards, trying to flow with it, and you are flowing with the cards, when you go in there, you're flowing with the field. It's actually part of me. I'm working with you. But when you use the regular cards, it's more of an exact, precise, message. So it hits you a little differently, but it still works excellent. Okay, so know when you go to Amazon.com and you buy the book that you're not getting the cards too. Okay. Deanna has some, but like I said, she's going to be closed for at least 2 months. She's going back home to Spain. She's on the way back home to Spain, and she'll be staying with her family, just to get resettled in and find a nice place of her own down there. And I'll keep doing consultations, not to make anyone nervous or anything, but my energy is stronger than it's ever been, but it's also changed again. I was with my friend Forrest, and 2 others, his special other, and then another nice lady that was there. I'm not going to mention names, but I cranked him up real strong. At my last physical event, that was in-person, event is what I'm trying to say, near the end of September 2015. And I went in him again and cranked him up, and he said, "Jay, it's weird. I feel the energy, but now it's thick. It's like mushy, pliable or something, but it's thick." The closer I get to coming out of here, the more my energy is becoming like its normal self, but also it's mutating from my being stuck here again, getting stronger. It won't hurt you. It does nothing but make you stronger. And 20% of what I put in you stays there forever. It changes who you are as spirit. most everyone is soul, and that's a beautiful thing. So, but it changes you. It makes you soar soul. It's so much stronger than what you were. It's ridiculous. Anyway, folks, love you. Take care. I hope you have a good day. And don't go crazy overdoing it. But don't forget to tell the people you love that you actually love them. Okay? There's enough fighting and everything else going on. It's time for compassion to come out. To maybe show someone you care, but be careful, because there's always someone to abuse you and use you. They're all going. They're on the way out. So, and when people are trying to wake up, sometimes they have a hard time. Try to be as understanding as you can as you wake up. A lot of your friends, as you awaken and become stronger, and your knowledge and your understanding of what's going on and your abilities start kicking in more, the more you use them, the stronger they become. The easier it is to use them, and then the more they develop. So they don't just get stronger, but they develop. They become more finite. They I don't have the word. Sorry. But that's who y'all are. The end of abuse is coming. The battle between good and evil, as many have always called it, it's just about over. Who wins? The compassionate. So, again, for the third time, I usually say it 3 times before I finally get off, but folks, love you. Take care, and I hope you have a damn good one.